I just really had to make a comment. I'm not a big fan of Starbucks, except for the recent changes, and I'm becoming a political fan of Starbucks. Still think that their food has problem, but I wanted it because it's now past 1:30 in the afternoon, and for the first time since the four women that apparently were upset about the failure to observe Pride Month in June, this business owner today, Starbucks has been actually since just before sunrise. The place has been just packed, screaming. They really, of course, they're not doing that anymore. It's last summer they had the little pylons, the bollards, I think is the English term, where they would block off, and they'd have uh, a staff member that was actually out taking orders from people who, before it ever gets up to the order, the Jack in the Box speaker thing, the people that hadn't phoned in their, or electronically put in their orders by mobile, they used to block off entrance into the drive-through and then take the order out here, and they'd be backed up down to the Christian Brothers and stuff. But today, this I kind of like it because it's especially those four people resigned with the sole intent of damaging the owner's pocketbook because it's actually was Starbucks policy. It wasn't his policy. And were four women. It was all women. I remember seeing them hugging, and it was those women that disappeared. But today, man, this place is Starbucks has been a madhouse today. I mean, the I was only gone for a little while, about 30, 40 minutes, up to about 40 minutes. Up to most of that was in travel time. Man, when I hit Walmart, I was pegging it, grabbing everything, the things I knew what I was, got everything that I wanted, everything that I needed in no time. And it looks like it's going out of focus again. And I just put it on portrait so it focused really sharp. I cleaned the lens, but man, it was packed. These six, I keep saying seven, these six spaces were always full. This is the first time it's actually, I think, one up there. No, this was one, two, three, four. Yeah, there's one up there and this one here. That's the first time they've been available all day. All this morning it was packed like usual. That lovely young woman who had on kind of a pair of, you can tell it was actually like there's an under deal, but it was kind of more like a sport, almost like a tennis, but it's real. That's what I liked about that woman is she had some modesty to her dress. She didn't need to prove anything to anybody. Even the kind of little tennis skirt kind of thing she had on was a good length. It came to mid thigh and was loose. Her top was loose. She was just gorgeous and asked me if I wanted anything out of there, and I said no, I don't. I did eat that ham and cheese croissant the other day. It was quite tasty. It's the first hot meal, and this morning was the first hot drink I've had in months. Why am I having because on this side it doesn't look very well focused. And I am getting a little, yeah, it's at least putting a solar panel out there. But today I can tell that with a smaller staff, and it'll go right at Saturday, he may leave it, like even last evening, he left it open fairly late till about 8 o'clock, I think, before he finally closed the dining room area. I need to put and patio and shit, and just went to drive-through. He's got a better business model now because you really used to have people here by 4:20 at night until 11 o'clock or more at night, and even then sometimes have to have somebody hang around with the key for the door if the next delivery driver didn't have the key. They have the keys. They have a master key to get into the Starbucks. QCD does, but just wanted to point out that this owner has now fewer employees, and he's especially, although they're starting to accumulate. They got the guy in the white Tesla, they got Thomas in the red truck, and several people that go in there and monopolize, a table and a space for 5 or 6 hours at a time, just because Starbucks is still the scene to make. But I'm so glad to see that he's got a trimmed down, leaned down business model and stuff, and survived the liberal attack on Starbucks just because they don't want to be political. Their CEO was a straight up rainbow clown who was told essentially by the board, you might be even the president of the board, you may be CEO, but we're going to overrule you. We're not spending a dime on decorating Starbucks. They dumped him. They had his resignation by around 1st of June, where the business here dropped. They had to start closing at 4 or 5 in the afternoon. They were shorthanded. They actually were closed for entire days at a time. So just a quick video on Starbucks is bouncing back. They have a Republican that invested a lot to pump up Starbucks stock. And there's even, amongst the fake news that's coming out, is this totally spun version of what's happening with Starbucks. Is Starbucks altering its business model, and it's really the left wingers, the fascists. They still want to have it in their locality. They want to have it to be a hangout, but it's now a hangout, or you're not particularly welcome to hang around forever and stuff like that. And it's just really, they're trying to make it what it is here. Especially, this is a family-friendly space. You're not going to see a lot of cafillas, and you're not going to see a lot of weirdos. Let's just put it like that. I get to use that term. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short. 7 minutes. Starbucks has bounced back today alone. This will be the highest grossing day he's had since those 4 women decided to, go on. Actually, they can't get unemployment, to just go out in the world on their own and give up what was a pretty good paying job with plenty of hours. Starbucks will persist. And you people that keep trying to cancel, I'm just trying to tell you, is that cancel culture here only lasted about 3 months. That's how long cancel culture lasted in this particular Starbucks location. It didn't work. You picked on the wrong location. I still don't think that, I think they may have, this year, they may have finally, I know it was only 2 years ago that Round Rock had its first, actually, I'm not sure if Pflugerville has a pride celebration here, a pride parade. They only started 2 years ago, and it may have been 3 years ago, but 3 years ago, only like 2 or 3 people showed up at Round Rock for the pride celebration, pride parade. And I think last year they may have gotten 100 people to show up at Round Rock. So I'm kind of in the right neighborhood, if you get my drift. Anyway, a big congratulations to the owner of Starbucks. You survived the cancel culture, people. And today your business is thriving. The people who have children in school, the people who at least have some evidence of being heteronormative, having children. Yeah, you got their business, buddy. That's what really counts, is people are going to be steady and good customers, and you don't need the people that are just passing through and standing on the patio and screaming and putting on all the drama and shit that I've seen over the past year. And you've been able to reduce your staff because you don't have people out here working till 11 o'clock at night, taking out the trash and mopping the floors. You're closing the doors earlier. I think you got a good business plan, dude. You recovered the attempt to cancel. Later.